So we're in Genesis chapter 9. We've been going through the Noahic covenant and looking at its promise to Noah, his descendants, really all of mankind, and really all of the world, right? Even the animals are promised that God will not destroy the world again. And yet we get into this latter part of Genesis chapter 9, and we see even though God had erased all sin, sin reemerges. Noah, whether intentionally or unintentionally, plants a vineyard and gets drunk. Perhaps he didn't realize the potency of this strong wine that he was drinking, but all we realize is that he gets drunk, and then his son Ham commits some egregious sin against him. And this is to point out that even after God makes this gracious covenant with all mankind, and even though he had wiped out all wickedness, guess what reemerges? Sin. There's nowhere you can run. There's nowhere you can hide. Sin will be there, because if God eradicates all sin today, sin will return tomorrow, because man is sinful. And this is really where the gospel comes in, of giving us hope over sin. But we're not there yet. So Ham, his youngest son, it says, looks on his father's nakedness. Most Jewish commentators, as well as those after, seem to think that the implication here is something deeper than just a glance, that he glanced for perhaps sexual pleasure, but most feel it was there was some action taken there, but the text is not trying to get too detailed, but point out by the curse that Noah will pronounce on his son Ham, that this was an egregious act, and his younger children really come in and show that they are the opposite of Ham. They walk in backwards and they cover their father's shame and nakedness. And this really has to do with showing Ham's immodesty and recognizing their modesty, their fatherly piety and duty, and their willingness to really shun the wickedness that Ham committed towards his father, that they are saying we are not part of that. So right here we see in a certain sense two lines, right? Those who are godly, even though they may sin, they're trying to walk in a way that's pleasing to the Lord and to their father. They're honoring their father and their mother. And those who are wicked do not honor father and mother, do not have piety, do not have shame, and in fact go and brag about it to Ham brags about to their two sons of what he did, and they were appalled. And that's really what we see is all throughout history now. You're going to have those who try to seek righteousness, and hopefully that righteousness is through God, because that's the only true righteousness. But then those who brag about sin, those who enjoy sin. And we should be of the people that respect and honor and live with faithfulness and piety before the Lord, personal holiness. We're seeking to draw closer to the Lord, not farther from him. So let us honor the Lord with our actions and not be like Cain, who dishonored him. Have a blessed weekend.